Hey, hello everyone. Welcome back to the channel. This is Praveen here. I hope you guys are extremely doing good. So after the successful completion of week 1, where we have seen various concepts of Kubernetes. So if you are seeing 6 days ago, 2 days ago, 3 days ago, and you can see like 1 day ago, and we have also done a project on Kubernetes. This was just 21 hours ago, which we have done, and you can see 2.7K views. This is one of the real-time project, and everyone is getting benefited out of this week 1 playlist on Kubernetes. You can definitely watch all those videos, very much important for your resume, and you can directly keep those projects and those topics in your resume. Every document I have been sharing in the Telegram channel. So any of these videos which you are seeing on the screen, the Telegram link will be in the description, and you can join and you will find the drive link. From there, you can get all the documents and you can keep it in your drive. I hope that works. Let's move to week 2. In the week 2, this will be your day 7, right? So we have completed day 5, and this was your day 6, right? Basically, and today we are at day 7, which is basically your AWS week, where we will be watching various kinds of AWS components, AWS services. What are the important things you should know, and what are the important projects you should keep in your resume, which market is actually finding difficult among the candidates to find those skills, right? And I want everyone to watch this complete video so that you get what is there in the coming days and this entire week along with the project. I hope you are liking the content till now. If you are liking, give it a thumbs up, and also share the channel link with your classmates, friends, schoolmates, or anyone whom you think this can be helping, right? So yes, this is day 7, and if you want to get the recorded videos on the YouTube week by week, so you have to subscribe to the channel. And week 1 is already completed. All the videos are here along with the documents. And my YouTube, Telegram, this is the Telegram which I was talking about, where you will get the documents, right? So definitely join here to get the documents. And Instagram, you can always follow me here to get the latest updates. And this is my website, obviously you all know, right? Let's move to the actual concepts, why we are here, what we are going to do, what we are going to learn in this particular 30 minutes of time, right? So let me clear the screen for you. So basically, whatever you are seeing, most of the things we are going to cover in the coming days. So let me make it top. So AWS services overview, what are the things we are going to cover? I am just showing on a high level. Identity and access management we are going to cover, the VPC we are going to cover, right? And these all are various kinds of services in AWS. Identity and access management, similar to your lock system in your home, right? So basically it provides the security concepts, right? Your VPC, basically your this is your house lock, right? Lock. And once you enter the house lock, this entire 1 BHK or 2 BHK is specifically designed for you, is for the purpose of your sake, right? So basically VPC is something like your entire house land, okay, where you have built your house, right? Once you have entered in your house, what are the various rooms are there? Let's see one by one room. So this is your room of monitoring. Let's take, this is your room 1. So what are the items kept in room 1? There is CloudTrail, CloudWatch, right? And if you see something like your, let's go to the room 2, where you will see various components, right? Application layer components, where you will see EC2, Lambda, ECS, right? And you will see web backend layer. So basically this can be your room 3, right? Room 3, EC2, Lambda, ECS, Elastic Container Service, Lambda, EC2s we are going to see. Packaged infrastructure, this will be your room 4, which is your infra given room, right? So it gives your application to run the similar kind of environment. You want Python environment, it will be giving. If you want Node.js environment, it will be giving. So these all tools or these all services in AWS gives the environment for your application to run. The entire servers or everything can be given. So Elastic Beanstalk, Lightsail, AppSync, App Runner, everything comes under that. This is basically room number 5, which is your databases, and very, very much important. So you see what are the databases: Aurora DB, DynamoDB, Document DB, Relational Database System, OpenSearch DB, Elastic Cache. So everything we will be seeing one by one. And if you see after the room 5, if you see something like room 6, we are having room 6 is basically for your domain names, for your API gateway, load balancers, right? This is your room 6. And if you see, let's take some queries needs to be searched, or some some systems have to be sent email or some messaging channels to your phone or something. So basically room 7 is your event based channel. This will help you in sending bulk emails. This will help you to send bulk messages, right? Any kind of the trigger which you want in order to notify all the peoples, your room 7 you can use it. And yes, room 8 basically your S3 bucket, right, which will be helping in storage or storage class. Basically this is a storage which will help you to keep all the files, the static objects, HTML documents and everything, right? And you see analytical processing, this is your room number 9. And finally, room number 10, some Redshift kind of database, room number 10, right? So everything is like orderly designed and everything we will be seeing as we go ahead, right? And there is cloud formation and these all things we will be talking about. So I hope I am making it sense. Again, I will repeat for the sake of your understanding. You have a home. The home is tightly locked with your Godrej lock or Europa lock, whatever lock you have had. And once you have entered the home, right? So this is the person which you have entered in the home, right? So let me clear it. Right. So once you have entered the entire land on which your house is built, right? This is your VPC and each one is your room. Room number 1, room number 2, right? Room number 3, right? And if you see room number 4, where is the room number 4? Yes, room number 4, room number 5. I have seen somewhere room number 5, room number 6, room number 7, room number 8, room number 9, and room number 10. So every component is defined and designed in order to work in a specific way. Yes, one more important thing I would like to highlight here. I will change the little bit of color and this will be your AWS project, guys, basically. So this is your AWS project where you see the components like code commit, code build, code deploy, and code pipeline. So this will be your week 2 project, right? So I'm just highlighting, like I'm giving an overview what exactly in the week 2 you will be getting all the topics, all the content, and also I have revealed the project for week 2. So stay tuned for the project. Any small changes here and there, that's okay. I will be again telling, right? So let's go forward. I hope you are liking what exactly in the week 2 is, and you will be learning and understanding with me various kinds of concepts. Let's discuss about like what is cloud basically, right? People just talk like, okay, cloud is this, cloud is that, but let's understand like why we go for cloud and what is the main use to have this kind of cloud, which is your Amazon Web Services. Right. So basically, Amazon Web Services is a cloud provider, which is very much helpful. And after it came into market, right, basically from your Amazon company, right? So Amazon Web Services have been started, AWS, and it started giving the IT services to the market, right? So IT services in the sense, any kind of service which is helping you. So all the services which you have seen in the previous slide are your AWS providing services. Now, why we need to go to AWS? So people will ask why AWS or why any cloud, right? Why any cloud? This is one of the important factor for you to understand, right? So you see, we don't need to plan for servers and other IT infrastructure, right? Suppose you want any server, right? You want to take S1 server. You don't need to have any backend infrastructure for that. You just go into the AWS console and you ask AWS that, hey boss, I need one server. This AWS will give you one server instantly without asking anything from you, right? So it will just ask a little bit of small parameters, server name, server keys, what type of server it is, everything, and that's it. Your work is done and you will get the AWS server handy for you, right? AWS server handy for you, and you can use it for your project purpose or for your learning purpose, right? Services can be instantly spin up hundreds or thousands of servers. Now, let's take again, I am taking the EC2 server, EC2 service of AWS, EC2 service of AWS, or you can take your ECS service of AWS, right? So you want 1,000 servers. Let's assume you want 1,000 servers. You can easily spin up this 1,000 servers either on EC2 service or ECS service, right? So you can create 1,000 containers or you can create 1,000 servers. No one is going to ask you. Only thing is you will be getting the build for the amount that you are using, basically for the usage you are using, right? So bill is also directly you can see in the Amazon dashboard, right? So don't worry about that. You need to have your AWS account, right? And very, very simple steps are there for creating the account. And let's go ahead, right? So point number one, we don't need to plan anything and other IT infrastructure or nothing we need. We just need the AWS account and that's it. We are good to go. You can spin up as many servers as you need, and you can do whatever you need as per your choice, provided you are having good bank balance so that you pay the bill if anything you are making it wrong, right? I hope I am making it sense. The point number two, we pay only for what we use. Suppose we have the S3 bucket, right? S3 is basically for storing the data, right? For storing the data. Suppose we have the S3 bucket. Suppose we have the EC2 instance. Suppose we have EKS, which we have done in week 1, right? So you use it and you pay for it. So whatever you use it, you pay for it, and there is no upfront expenses. Unlike if you book some EC2 instance, right? Book EC2 instance. So comment down, what does this mean? Book EC2 instance. It will be having a special word or a keyword associated with it. So make sure you are having that, right? And very, very much important is pay as you use. That is what the important feature which cloud gives, and it is one of the best feature, I would say. Now, what is cloud computing? Very, very important concept. That's where the revolution has started among the clouds, right? So I'll give a 5-star for this keyword. What is cloud computing? So you can see like internet-based computing service in which large groups of remote servers are networked. Now, cloud computing is nothing but AWS is there. Okay. Now tell me, like, AWS is a complete feature which is giving us various kinds of services. So where these services are running at the backend, again, the backend will have various kinds of servers which are tightly coupled with each other. So basically you can say like data centers, right? So basically that is what it is telling: network to allow centralized data storage and online access to computer services or resources. So cloud computing, compute means how faster my service is, how faster, how reliable, how scalable, how security driven format or the components I am giving is what this particular AWS feels. And I would like to tell you few of the things. How is the scalable? How is reliable? How is security placed? How is, you can tell, cost? And the fifth one is design. So guys, your SRE and DevOps plays an important role among these factors. So it means that you have some options like your scalable. How much is your capacity increase? Like whatever you have given from 1 servers to 5 servers, is it scalable or not? Reliable, zero downtime, right? Security, very, very much good security so that unwanted hacker is not coming into your system. Cost, you design the best architecture with minimum cost, and obviously the design, right? So all these things comes into your cloud design pattern. So I'm making it sense, I hope. Let's move forward. Any questions, any comment? Any questions, any queries, comment down in the comment section so that I'll be taking that, right? So let's move forward to the next slide. So cloud service models, very, very much important. So today we will be covering most of the basic things, but as you go ahead in the week, right, day 8, day 9, day 10, you will be getting most of the important topics which are needed for you to learn from AWS. Now, we have 3 main cloud service models. One is infrastructure as a service, second one is platform as a service, and third one is software as a service. Now, infra as a service, basically, you are being given an infrastructure readily available, or you can make with the help of components. Now, you see key benefits: scalability, cost and time savings, flexibility. Now, any point of time, if you hear the word cloud, may it be Oracle Cloud, Alibaba Cloud, AWS Cloud, GCP Cloud, your Azure Cloud, few things you need to understand: scalable, reliable, security, cost, design, right? And everything comes into picture. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So these 5 things you need to tell. And the statement when you are sitting in the interview should be in this format so that people like the way you are telling. Expressing the way also plays an important role. So infra as a service, you see the scalability, cost and reliability, flexibility, whatever it is. So infrastructure as a service, infrastructure as a service. So basically, this gives you the entire infrastructure to work on, and it basically gives various kinds of components to work on. Now, what are the challenges? You integrate, right? So infrastructure as a service means the infra can be designed, right? And it needs to be integrated, right? The infra components, your DB component, your work nodes component, your storage components, all these things to be integrated, right? So that's where your challenges comes in. Security. So let's take, you have an EC2 instance, you have a server. The security plays an important role so that I don't allow an hacker to come in, right? Very much important. Staff training. Now I have an infrastructure as a service. Now I need to train my people so that people understand the bottlenecks of my infrastructure. And what are these driven infra as a service driven components or clouds? Amazon Web Services, VMware, Azure, Microsoft Azure, Alibaba, GCP, all are infrastructure as a service. Now let's see what are platform as a service. The first letter plays an important role here. Infra means it is giving infra. Platform means it is giving platform. Now what is platform? Platform is something which gives us the ready-made components. So it means that few examples from your AWS, I can give your RDS, right? So it means it is giving database, right? Let's take MySQL, your Postgres, right? These all are database. Now, what is the important factor or terminology here playing an important role is you have MySQL, you have Postgres, but you are not managing it, right? You are just selecting, I need a MySQL database. You select the type of compute it is associated with, you select the type of read replicas and everything, and you just say create. On the back end, your cloud is managing the patching, your cloud is managing the scaling up, scaling down, everything. You are not doing, by the way, right? Similarly, if you take an EC2 instance and deploy a database, it means you are taking care, you are managing, you have taken an infrastructure as a service, and you are managing your database. Here, the platform is managing your database. And what is that platform? Your relational database, RDS, is a platform, right? So you see speed, customization, flexibility. Speed is more because AWS on the backend is taking care of our needs, right? And if we are doing the EC2 installations, we need to always monitor, we need to make sure it is up and running and all those things. But here, the speed is more. The customization, you can do various customizations available for the point of sake from the cloud provider. And flexibility. Challenges, integration, again the same component. Compatibility, control. Now because we are not doing the control, AWS is doing the control over platforms as a service. So basically a little bit of control issue will be there, like your Red Hat OpenShift. Here Red Hat is giving you the OpenShift, right? So all the management is done by Red Hat, right? Similarly your RDS, right? So Cloud Foundry, right? Now software as a service, very, very simple example I can give, the Gmail. So what does this Gmail will do? Gmail is a software which is helping us to send emails, track emails, make sure we are getting some things, right? All inclusive. The key benefits is everything. We don't need to do the patching. We don't need to maintain the infrastructure. We don't need to maintain anything. Just we are using the Gmail, right? Yes or no? That means that you are just signing into the Gmail account and you are creating your Gmail account, and that's it. Your work is done. Cost efficient. You are not paying anything to your Gmail account. Accessible. Yes, you are accessing the Gmail account whenever you need it. Customization, interoperability, and control. Little bit of issues because we cannot control anything. So software as a service is just like you are giving a software, a company A is giving a software to its employees, and their employees are using it, right? That's it. Like your Slack, Office 365, Trello. Slack, I hope you all know. And if you have joined, if you are a Bash 3.0 student, 1.0 student, 2.0 student, you might have obviously worked on the Slack bot, right? Chatbot we have worked. I hope I am making it sense. Let's move forward. Any questions, any queries, comment down in the comment section, right? So chalo aage badhte hain. So basically I wanted to design a small architecture for you so that you understand how you deploy your application going forward. So let's take, this is internet and you have a domain name. Let's take www. Let's take like Praveen Singampalli.com. Now why I am taking this example is because you can directly click on this link provided in the description so that you understand how the routing happens on my website. So domain name is this www.praveensingampalli.com, and beyond this domain name, there is something like always a mapping. There is a component called domain name system, DNS. Whenever a person hits this endpoint, this DNS converts that endpoint to an IP address. Let's take 10.12.13./8 or 32 or 16, whatever the IP address is. So basically domain name system maps the URLs to your IP addresses, right? So you see the domain name is coming, and there will be in the AWS VPC, there is a domain name system which converts this domain name into the IP address. And you see EC2 instance is having the elastic IP associated. Now, what is elastic IP? Now, you need to understand when you procure a EC2 server, right, on AWS, it gives a public IP and a private IP, right? And now when you stop and start your EC2 instance, that's where your IPs get changed, right? And again, if you want to get those IPs, it is not difficult, it is very much difficult, right? So in order to make this avoid, right, so IP should be always static. So we create an elastic IP. It is basically a cost related thing. You create an elastic IP. Elastic IP is a static IP, and it can be attached to any AWS component, right? You can attach to any AWS component, right? And once it is attached, right, so what will happen? You can call, right? Even though your system is shut down, I mean, it means like your system is like shut down and you on the system again, your IP address will be static, right? So it will not get changed, right? So if you see, once the data is coming to the EC2 instance, the elastic IP is taking that, and some component, some application here is sending the data to the S3 bucket. So basically, I have an application which takes the inbound request, incoming request, and once the incoming request is taken, it is sending it to the S3 bucket. So basically, my data of user is I am sending it to the S3 bucket, right? So S3 bucket, you can see like storage, I am storing the data, right? And you see there is one more component here, EBS volume. We will be discussing about these two in detail as we go ahead in this class, right? So EBS is elastic block storage. This is one of the, you can say like hard disk for your EC2 instance. Similar to your laptop, you have a laptop, right? And once you have the laptop, you should have a hard disk also, right? So similarly, this is your laptop and this is your hard disk, right? And it is also sending basically the data to the volume snapshot. And from the snapshot, basically we are uploading the snapshot. Snapshot is something like taking the backup. Okay, whenever I say snapshot, it means you are taking the backup of the entire EBS volume as a snapshot, like how you zip all those data, right? So similarly, your snapshot is, and you send it to the S3 bucket. So S3 bucket basically takes the snapshots, basically all the backup data or your static data, right? Anything, or your HTML static pages, right? And your videos, anything it can take. Right. So simple architecture, I will just draw from one more point of time. So internet domain name is coming. My user is coming here. Once he is coming here, there is an application. This application is uploading the S3 bucket, right? And my EC2 instance is attached with the EBS volume, basically block storage. This is nothing but your hard disk. This is nothing but your laptop. So once the data is coming here, it will be stored here, and I am making it as a snapshot, basically backing up all the data, right? Backing up all the data in the second form. So this will be your first form, this will be your second form, and I'm uploading it in the S3 bucket. So I'm making it sense, right? So let's clear the screen. Let's move forward, right? Okay, now you see very important concept here. So you will see like various kinds of what you call like, okay. Yes, various kinds of systems are here. So basically what you see here is your types of EC2. Okay, let me change this color. Types of EC2 instances, types of EC2 instances. So as I have told you, EC2 is basically a laptop, a server, right? Anything which runs our applications, right? So you see there are various kinds of purpose, and AWS is very vast, guys. Okay, very big, and as per your requirement, it gives you the products, right? Yes. So you go to a market and you find various kinds of products. Let's take in the, when you go to buy your clothes, right? There are various kinds of brands, sizes, your designs, right? So all those things in the cloud also it matters. So you see, for your general purpose usage, what is the type of family you can use? T-type family. T family is very much important for your general purpose usage, and you can use it M-type family also. So you see, good for scale out workload supported by ARM. A-type is little bit old, but now we are having T-type family, where I have already shown you in the Kubernetes class. T2 medium we have used, right? So T-type family is basically good for changing workloads. T resembles tiny or turbo. Okay, clear? Now M-type family is for medium, right? So after T, which is tiny, you have a M family, T family, M family, C family, R family, X1 family, Z family, P family, G family, I family. So basically, depending on your requirement, general requirement you have, you go with T or M. If you need more amount of memory or compute, your processing should be fast, you go for C type family, C5, C5 and C4, high ratio or high memory. C is for compute. Suppose you want high memory optimization, you have high IO, high memory utilization, you go for RAM. R stands for RAM, right? R family, R5, R5A, R5N, R4, good for in-memory database, full in-memory applications, good for large in-memory. So what is in-memory? Basically, in-memory is nothing but your cache, right? Where you want to store data and give the data on the fly, right? Cache is basically which gives the data on the fly, right? Whenever user asks. So R is basically, R type family is basically RAM. X type family is basically extreme, good for full in-memory applications, high memory, very, very big memory if you want. Z type instances, both high compute and high memory. This is a mix of C type, R type, right? Z is for ZP. P type family for pictures. If you want to use graphics or any other things, you can use P type family. You have a G type family, accelerated computing. So G type is basically for graphics. Again, P is for pictures. F type family, you can use it. And I type basically for IOPS, input output, right? And you see, this is basically balance of compute and memory, right? So depending on the type of requirement, you can go with any kind of thing, right? Storage optimized. So basically 5-6 types are there. General purpose, compute optimized, you can see memory optimized, accelerated computing, storage optimized. And when you are going for the interview, you need to remember these things. Just what kind of instance, when to use. General purpose, compute. So if you want a general application to be deployed, you use general purpose. You want a high memory, you use memory optimized. High CPU, compute optimized. Both accelerated computing, storage optimized, right? So in a server, what are the three main components? Storage, memory, CPU, right? So these three things are there. General purpose is one, accelerated, mix of both, right? Okay, let's move forward and let me clear the screen. Okay, now you see there is something like EBS. So we have, as we have discussed, your EC2, different types of EC2. Let's take, I am going with T type, tiny, T2 dot medium. So medium means, again, medium gets changed with your number of cores, right? You have 2 CPU and 4 GB memory for this instance, right? So you see the 4 GB memory is nothing but your EBS volume, which is going to be attached from to your system. EBS, elastic block storage, right? Volume type usage. Now you see in this EBS, there are 2 types of hard disk. Similarly, for your laptop, you go to shop, there are 2 types of hard disk, HDD, SSD, right? Which one costs more? Let me know in the comment section, right? I know basically, and you should be also knowing, because when you go for your laptop disk replacement, so basically person will suggest you the one which I am thinking, right? So if my thinking is matching your thinking, then comment down which one you will use among these 2, either HDD or SSD. SSD basically solid state drives. HDD is basically hard disk drives. Now you see in the volume type also, there are few things: general purpose, provisioned IOPS, throughput optimized, cold HDD, EBS magnetic. Now you see API is basically what kind of type, right? What type it comes into the format. You see GP2, right? IO, right? General purpose is GP2. We all use GP2, what you call GP2 drives. Mostly in our Kubernetes class, we have used GP2 only. IO1, if you are using for the provisioned IOPS, right? And you see ST1 for throughput optimized, cold hard disk, SC1, standard for magnetic, EBS magnetic. Now description, when to use what type of disks. Now, if you have a general purpose, you go for GP2, balance price and performance, right? You are not compromising on performance, you are not compromising on price. And this table you need to remember, guys, when you're going for the interview. Very, very much important. I have been asked many times. I also get a little bit confused, but remember one thing, similarly, how you have the EC2 instance types, how many types you have? One is compute, one is memory, one is storage, the accelerated performance, general purpose, right? So similarly, you have 2 types of hard disk, basically disks. HDD, SSD, and you have GP2, IO. Basically, GP2 is general purpose 2, general purpose usage, IO, high input output ratio if you want, right? And you have magnetic type, ST1, SC1, right? So all those things. You see, use cases, most workload. Yes, this one I have used many times, guys, and I have used most of the times. You can go for this also according to your requirement. And you see, most of the common workloads we are using this. Last database input output is greater than 16,000 or throughput is greater than 250 MB. You can use this. Now, ST1, low cost, designed for frequently accessed throughput intensive workloads. Lowest HDD cost. This is one of the cold means long time storage. Cold means long time and very infrequent access. You are not accessing multiple times, right? Cold. You just push the data, you are storing there. No one is trying to access, right? File storage, 500 GB. You see, volume size, 1 GB to 16 TB, 4 GB to 16 TB, 500 GB to 15 TB, right? 500 GB to 15 TB, 500 GB to 15 TB, right? Maximum IOs. Now, general purpose SSD. General purpose SSD, GP2 type for general usage without specific requirements. For high input output IO, throughput optimized, magnetic drive optimized for quick throughput, lowest cost HDD. So in the MCQs of any certification, anywhere people will ask these kind of things when you will use general purpose, which is the lowest cost of hard disk or disk, basically in the in your EC2 sector, right? So you will be given 4 options. You need to select the cold HDD, right? Clear? So let's move forward. Let me clear the screen for everyone. Right. Okay. Now you see, this is the big picture of various components. In the slide number 1, you have seen what are the components we are going to learn in the week 2. I mean, coming days, day 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. But this is the holistic view. Under the compute section, you will see EC2, your instances, Amazon machine image. So basically, when you click an image on a phone, right? So basically what the image will have various kinds of layers, right? And the image will have who has clicked, which phone has taken this picture, what is the timestamp, date, size, right? So basically this image, AMI, Amazon machine image, has all the predefined data which helps me to create an EC2 instance, right? So these all things are computes basically. EC2, Elastic Compute Cloud, DB on instance, you can create instance with CloudWatch, you can do Elastic IP, I told you static IP, right? And you can have Amazon Elastic Map Reduce, your clusters, Hadoop file system clusters, autoscaler, right? Content delivery. So basically, what is content delivery? My requirement is I am sitting in Visakhapatnam, right? And you are sitting in USA. Let's assume that I want my content to be delivered as fast as I can. And which are the services which I can use for this? Your CloudFront, download distribution, streaming distribution, edge locations. Amazon CloudFront is used for these things. Monitoring, you can use CloudWatch. Basically, you can have alarms and your Amazon CloudWatch will be there. Storage, as I have told you, simple storage service S3. S3 gives buckets. Buckets has objects. This is your object. You can do export import of the bucket, right? Then your gateway service you can use. EBS, see, EBS, Elastic Block Storage, is a volume. You can create a snapshot. Now, for a simple terminology, what I'm telling is, with EC2, what are the components coming to you? EC2 instances, AMI. You can have a DB on instances with CloudWatch. You can have Elastic IP also. Right? Map reduce cluster, Elastic Map Reduce gives us the Elastic Map Reduce cluster. You can form Hadoop file system cluster, auto scaling also. Auto scaling is a separate part. Content delivery, Amazon CloudFront you can use. What CloudFront can give? So basically these are use cases or user selling point. Download distribution, streaming, edge locations. CloudWatch gives alarms and Amazon CloudWatch anyways. S3 gives bucket. Bucket has objects. Object looks like this. And you can import and export your buckets data, right? Gateway service, EBS gives volume and volume can be made snapshot. Non-service specific users, client, mobile, multimedia, corporate data center, anywhere you can use your, your cloud, right? Okay. Now you see networking. What are the services coming in networking? Amazon Elastic Load Balancer, Amazon Direct Connect, I will be telling everything. Amazon Route 53, basically this is for your domain name system. right? Hosted zones, route tables, everything comes. Amazon Virtual Private Cloud, VPC, VPN connection, VPN gateway, customer gateway, internet gateway, router. So these all components comes under VPC. Amazon Mechanical Turk, this is not needed as of now. Amazon Simple Database, Amazon Simple DB, items. These are like features or use cases. Okay, use cases. Now RDS DB instance, RDS DB standby, multi-AZ DB, some scaling or system design concepts are coming here. Your multi-AZ database, so that your database is available 24/7, right? RDS read replica, right? So how fast your database is reading the data, right? And sending it to the other instance, right? DB instance, MySQL DB instance, DynamoDB has table, Amazon Elastic Cache, right? SES send email service, SNS send notification, simple notification service, simple image service, which sends the email in bulk, which sends the notifications in bulk. SQS, basically the queue, like your Kafka, right? Cloud Formation, basically like your Terraform, which creates the infrastructure for you. Beanstalk, I have already told you, like your environment it gives. And what are the other components hidden here? So groups, auto scaling group, availability zone, region, security group, elastic beanstalk, container, easy to instance, contents, VPC subnets, virtual private cloud, AWS cloud, corporate data centers. Everything is like beautifully designed in this. You just remember this few things here, just the features, right? S3 has a bucket has an object. If at all I want to go with S3. Instance, AMI, Amazon machine image, it can have a public IP, private IP, it can have elastic IP also, right? Content delivery network, edge locations, your content delivery, storage, streaming, and everything, right? Similarly, like that, you can have your data points when your interview is there. And we'll be learning all these things very, very beautifully in the coming days. I hope you have liked the video. Get ready for tomorrow's class also. This is Singham signing off. 30 minutes is completed. I think I have wasted 2-3 minutes here and there. Just stay tuned and take care. Bye. This is Singham signing off. Shalom.